Hello and welcome to episode 21 of Build a Nation in Croatia with HNK Vukovar. We've just ended the 11th season and although it's been successful, it feels like another miserable slip up from myself. But let's get through it, let's see what happened and let's see what we can do better next year. And here we go as ever into the end of season review for the 2033-34 season. In terms of the new arrivals, pretty good, I think. Again, I mean, there's a bit of a marked change this season. It wasn't as massive as we have done in previous years. Trying to bring in some Croatian players as well. So Adrian Hrnčević came in as a backup goalkeeper. Only played one game, got a 7.5 rating. So for £100,000 player to be a reserve keeper, B+ for him, which is pretty good, all considering we didn't have a reserve keeper for a number of games, and he solved the problem. Then we got João Paulo, C. Content with the deal, high potential value to receive if he moves on. He cost us $5.5 million. He's played 28 games and got 10 goals. It did look for a long time like he was going to be a replacement for Martinez, but he picked up an injury mid-season. He kind of faded out the team a little bit. I couldn't get them both in at the same time, so it's another job in the summer to work out what to do with him. Really good player, not sure if we can hold on to him long term. And that problem that I'm always got with the European registration rules means that maybe one of them strikers has to go, because we've got one Brazilian and then we've got one Paraguayan, so we can't have them both really. Fabian Krivac came in, he's a free transfer, came in from Plymouth, again 29 years old, a really good player. He's played quite a few games for us this season, 31, 5 goals, 4 assists, 7 average, so a B rating for him. And I think just the fact he's Croatian and he can sit anywhere in that midfield three, it's really good in terms of squad rotation and squad registration rules. So again, I think it's slightly better than a B, but I am slightly biased. Antoine Tessier, free transfer from AC Milan. He's played 25 games on the left-hand side. Maybe as a replacement for Pereira, to let Pereira go. However, we didn't get any sufficient bids in, so he's still with us as well. But he picked up an A+. He's got a minimum fee release score of 6 million. I'm 50-50 whether to let that go and let somebody take it, or whether to renew his contract and try and get a bit more value out. But again, as we go through the transfer window, we've got Toth coming back as well. Pereira probably needs to move on from that registration point of view, and we've got to look at maybe bringing in some Croatian understudies. Radek Novotny, another A+, brought him in as a right back, 31 games, 1 goal, 3 assists, 6.92 from Inter Milan. Again, free transfers, you can't really grumble with it. In terms of the value in the games he's played, A+ is probably fair. Christopher Ndululu, again a backup defender, brought him with a little bit of promise, might well move him on in the summer. I think we're quite stacked at really good centre halves in there, so unless we sell one for a big price and bring him in as a rotational option, I'm not sure, but again, it's going to be a big summer ahead of the club. Aldrich Batuma, left back, A+, again came in, free transfer. He's got a minimum release of 9.75 million, so even if he does go, we've had a great season out of him and we'll cash in on him, get him off the wage budget and move on. And then Luka Latika came in for a high prospect player, didn't really play that many games, 1 sub appearance to become the club's all-time youngest player, but when he hits 17 we might use him as a rotational option and just try and get him a bit more experience moving through, because he looks like one for the future. Bringing him in on a fairly low fee as well. In terms of the transfers out, mostly cleaning out. So Eldin Mujic, we wanted to keep him, but Juve came in for 11.5 and we were unable to keep him happy. Kasper Larsson, we had him in as a developmental player to move him on. Berger as a D, I mean, we just had to get rid of him. I think long term he could have been a replacement for Mohar, but again, the registration rules meant that we couldn't really hang on to him as long as we wanted to. Moez Tunzi, again, we had 2 Wonder Kid strikers, so we had to move him on. Zdenek Svoboda, again Pereira and Meslier on the left-hand side. And then we've got Takac, isn't ever getting in the front three. Ivanov was a goalkeeper, but he wasn't getting in because he was Ukrainian, so again we had to move him on. Dujmovic, he wasn't going to get anywhere near the squad. Polovanic, we've just outgrown him really. When he first came in, he was a high potential player. Croatia, we were going to look to build the club around a little bit, but he just didn't develop at the rate we wanted to, and replaced him with bigger and better players. Filip Subric, again one of our homegrowns, moved him on. Mate Kiss, again another striker. We brought him in for a few games and he moved on. And he's not getting in our front. We only have one up top at the minute. We did toy with two, maybe could have used a rotational backup, but again we couldn't get it to work out properly. Klaric, left back, going off to Ozijek. Simunovic wanted to keep him, but when Roma came in he got disgruntled. And Nazareno, another one of them European registration players. We couldn't keep him because he was Colombian, and I think we still have 8 foreign players. We'll have a look in a minute, but that's the one thing I really need to iron out because are constantly causing me problems in terms of squad registration. In terms of the loans, we won't go into too much of them, but the big ones is Joe Reed going to Leeds, Cherniak going to Hajduk Split, Ivanov, who's got a lot of potential, although a low star rating. I think he could be a handy player next season as he comes back. And Tim Broich, a former next generation winner, he'll come back into be a rotational striker option. So quite a lot of players going out on loan, a couple of little left backs in there at the bottom. They'll reintroduce into the squad and we'll see how we go. Right, this is the kicker. Despite us losing one game all season, we've managed to come second with the highest ever second place finishing points total to not win the league. So this is massively frustrating. It went all the way down to the last game. We won, they also won, and they beat us. I think we even beat them this season as well. But yeah, well clear of Hajduk, who were our challengers last season, but Dinamo have come out of nowhere. And you can see 11 draws of what's really cost us. Drawn with Dinamo, beat Dinamo. I think we got 2 draws against them, 1 loss, 1 win. So I can't really argue that they've won the league. They've been more consistent and ground out them points, but it's very frustrating to only lose 1 game all season, which incidentally was to them, and we come away without the title. So that's something I can't let happen again. It's made the squad really disgruntled because they haven't won the league. It's made the board really disgruntled because we didn't achieve our aims. So it's got to be fixed next season. In terms of the Champions League, got through the group stage despite not winning many games. I mean, we went for the ones we needed to get, Sofia and Marseille. I thought we were going out until we got a 1-0 win against Leverkusen, which put us into the next round where we met Arsenal. And again, as has previously happened, they've overpowered us and put us out of the competition. And then finally rounding up with the Croatian Cup, which we've gone to retain, I think, for the 3rd season in a row. This time beating Dinamo and Hajduk Split to go and take the trophy. So again, at least we've secured some kind of trophy for the season. In terms of moments to remember, a 5-1 win away at Roots. Sangante, weirdly, with a hat-trick from centre-half. I think mostly just headers from corners. A 6-3 away win at Ozijek. Again, huge game, that one. And then Croatian Cup victory against Granica Zupanja. It's 4-2. 2 late goals in there. Get us over the line. They had one as well. So really exciting end to that game. In terms of the finances, prize money just slightly above last season. So again, we just got to keep that Champions League money coming in. In terms of reputation, I think we're doing pretty good still at 3 stars. Shirt sales is all as and where you should expect it to be. And then in terms of the lineup, that's how we were predominantly. Most of them averaging over 7 for the season, which is pretty spectacular really. Novotny the only one that's dipped down below there. And again, fair spread of goals within that squad as well. Maybe need to just change the tactics slightly and go back to an advanced midfielder. I know we've gone defensive midfield to get a bit more stable at the back, but I just think we need to dominate games a little bit more and try and score a few more goals. So that's something we'll look to for next season. Some Manager of the Month awards. I'm not sure Manager of the Season's been done, but I would imagine Dinamo picked that one up. Competition was Goalkeeper of the Season again, and First League Player of the Season with Mike Wazowski, who's been nothing short of a phenomenon considering he's only 3-star and he doesn't have any more potential in him. He just keeps delivering massively. Most Man of Match awards in the season was Wazowski. Most league goals by a player, Martinez with 40 now, still labelled as a wonder kid, and our youngest player, Luka Latika. In terms of history in the making, not too much really to say in there other than winning the cup again. And then in terms of the timeline, there's a couple bits in here to be aware of. A big deal, Killian Way's agreed to join us. We'll go through him in the next episode. He looks like an exciting player. Latika became the youngest player in there. Levante Toth was our only player in the Next Gen Award. Again, he's currently out on loan at Inter Milan, so we're expecting him to come back and hit the ground running. 500 games in management. Got Zoran Djukic and Krasanovic, another 2 Croatian players coming in the transfer window. Again, in 2 players behind Dinamo in the league title, so it's a bit frustrating. A new stadium expansion up to 4,500, so that should do the finances some good. We've seen the 2 Player of the Season awards and the cup success. So all told, I think it's a pretty successful season. Financially, we've got 38 million in the bank and a 10 million transfer budget. In terms of the players coming in the summer, that's a quick preview. We've got 4 midfielders and 1 striker in there, 3 of which of them are Croatian to kind of bolster our numbers. And the only other bits to look at really is the facilities. We've got exceptional youth recruitment, and that's really frustrating because we didn't have a particularly great youth intake. I will show you the ones we've retained. Adequate academy, great youth facilities, superb training facilities, which we're trying to push them up again. Perfect pitch, and we're going up to 4,500 seaters. In terms of them youth players, that's what we've got. So 1 advanced playmaker in Miroslav Chapin, again 1.5 current, up to 4 Gustin 5. We've got another top talent with Latancic as well, and then 2 good talents just to bolster up that youth squad as we're moving forward. So 4 being introduced into under 19 squad's really good. In terms of the squad itself, I brought all the players back in, including the ones currently out on loan, just to try and see what we've got moving into next season. In terms of how the season went and the best performance, Joe Almeida, most appearances. Again, he's the best goalkeeper in the league by a country mile. He has got a minimum release clause, which I need to offer him a new contract just to get rid of that, but I think he's going to be our keeper for years to come. Outside of that, the number of goals scored, we had Sergio Martinez, who we thought he'd been replaced at the start of the season or working 2 up top, but he's managed to force himself back into that first teamer. Still labelled a wonder kid, so I think we're going to keep him long term. No big offers have come in for him, and his value still is quite low respective to his actual ability and stats. In terms of assists, no surprise, Mike Wazowski also got 15 goals in there. Again, a really phenomenal player with his stats in the right places. Maybe not the potential summary or potential ability that we'd like him to have, but again, as a 25-year-old squad rotational player who can come on and make a difference and get some goals, I think we'll definitely hang on to him. And then in terms of the average rating, we'll ignore Hrnčević because he's a sub-goalkeeper. We'll ignore Mike Wazowski because we've seen him. But Tomas Bakovic, who's one of our Croatian players, 27-year-old defensive midfielder, he's been playing in that defensive position. I think we might well move forward as we move into the next season, depending how stable we can make that midfield 3. And that's what we'll do, is we try and get a bit more positivity in terms of the results. In terms of the coefficients itself, again, not terrible, but not as good as it maybe could have been. We've at 9th place gone up to 73.2, so we will jump across above Turkey up into 8th place, but not enough to get past Austria to go up into 7th. However, in this next season coming, we're going to drop a 7.5 off the end, so if we can get anywhere near double figures again, it's only going to boost us up further. So that's an update where we are, how the season went. Bit of a failing on me, especially in terms of the foreign players. I've still not sorted out. We're still going to have to move a few of them on. I think when you look at the nationalities, you've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foreign players when you can only have 6. So 4 of them are probably going to have to move on. We've only got 11 Croatians in as it currently stands, with 3 more boosting them numbers up to 14. So I think we just need to make the squad a little bit more native again, bring in some Croatian players, whether that means scouting the national team or what. But I think that's what we've got to do moving forward, because towards the end of last season we ended up with lots of games where there were 4 empty substitute positions on the bench, and that's just because I can't put some of the players on there. Maybe loaned out too many as well, but we'll see as we move forward. So hopefully that's it, and that's good for an update. 11 seasons in, I think we're making progress. We're climbing up the coefficients. We've certainly made the squads around us a little bit tougher. The re-emergence of Dinamo is a testament to that. But we've got to now kick on and see if we can progress a bit further in Europe, because a couple of times we've got out of the Champions League group stages into the kind of last knockout rounds, but we need to progress a little bit further just so we can get them coefficient points up. So until next time, enjoy your Football Manager, enjoy your saves, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the Premier League, and I will see you next time. Take care.